Welcome back to another video. This video right here, last night I took my basstender 11.3 that I got. I took it slam apart. I took the top hole of it off of the bottom. I took and raised it off because I had to replace the transom. Well, I'm making this video right here because I scoured the internet. I looked and looked and looked how to take one apart, and I couldn't find out how to take one apart. But before I jump into this video right here, I'm gonna show you how I took mine apart. I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna take yours apart, I have nothing to do with it if you mess it up or anything. So I just wanted to say that before we jumped into the video and I showed you how I took it apart. I actually already got it apart because I wanted to get it apart before I talked about it so I knew what I was talking about. Well, it was really hard to take apart. I mean, it was simple, but it was still hard. I mean, you can take it apart with common household tools that you got laying around. But I'm gonna tell you, if you take on the job right here, it's tough, it's rough, and you're gonna need two people. We're gonna jump into this right here. I'm gonna turn the camera around where you can see what I did. And I hope this right here helps somebody that's got one that does not know how to do it. But I'm gonna show you how I did it. And hopefully this right here helps you out because it's a lot of work. And I'm gonna take and I had to get all this back together somehow. I had more problems than what I thought. But I'm gonna turn this camera around. We're gonna jump into it. And I'm gonna show you how I did it. All right, this right here is the bottom piece of it. It's a 2001 basstender 11.3 is what it is. And this is what the inside of it really just looks like when you get it all apart. But the only thing was there's styrofoam that sits back here, there's styrofoam over here, and styrofoam that runs down the sides right here. And there's a board that sits on top and a board that sits on top and another board that goes behind here for the transom. Well, I figured I had way more problems than what I had because the styrofoam was messed up, some of the boards were rotted, more than just the transom. And this is the front of it. This is where the deck sits on right here. That's for the pedestal seat. That is the dry storage. And the styrofoam that was in the front right here, that's still good, so I'm gonna reuse that. The styrofoam that goes in the front right here too, and there's more boards. But before I get into talking about how I got it taken apart, I'm gonna take and show you the other piece that I took off the top so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, here's the top piece right here that was on top of it. I actually got it sitting kind of in a pretty flat level ground, and I got the side of it held up right here so it don't bow down or bend, because it did have a little bit of bend in it. But this is the top part that's on it, and it is really rough getting this off, just to let you know. I mean, it is not that easy. I thought it was gonna be very easy, but it's not. You got to take and get the live well. You got to get the live well out too. So it's really hard, and pick all that up off the top of it. But I'm gonna show you the first thing you really need to do when you taking this thing apart. Right here in the back for your live well, the billets can stay in, but for the aerator, all that, everything that's in the back right here needs to come out. You got to take every bit of that out and just unscrew it and pull it all out. And you definitely got to take that out. Right here in the front, well, kind of in the front where the live well's at. Right here where your back pedestal seat's at, it's got like a plastic piece that sits on top. Well, you got to take the plastic piece off, and well, first you got to take the pedestal seat off, because if you see that hole and that hole, the pedestal seat on mine was screwed into it. So you got to take the pedestal seat base off, and then you take, there's 1, 2, 3, I don't know, there's a few screws that goes around the side right here. There's like another plastic piece that the pedestal seat base sits on. You take that off, and on mine there was a board. You got to unscrew that and take that off too. And then that exposes these ribs right here. Next thing you got to do is you got to unscrew the piece for the live well to come off. And once that comes out, you push it in through the hole. And there's another one that's right over here. Let me move that out of the way. There's another one that's right there you got to take off and push that right through the hole too. And what that does is that makes it where you can take, and when you pick it up, the live well will stay and this piece will come up. And that's pretty much everything you got to do for the inside right here to take out, besides for the front. The front base for the pedestal seat needs to come off. The dry storage, you need to take out all them screws. Take everything out that's screwed down besides for the little storage area, that hatch for the live well, and that one over there. Everything else can stay in. And all the wiring that's for all the lights and everything, for the accessory plug, for the trolling motors, all that stuff, the lights up there, everything can stay right there. You don't have to take none of that apart. The way you get it off is right here. I done took them out. Right here, there's a million staples where they took and put it together all the way around the whole hull of the boat. I mean, all the way around it, all the way to the back and everything. It is stapled together. What I did was I took and bent the staple over, took a pair of side cutting pliers and pulled them out. Bent it over, pulled them out. It took forever to get them off. I mean, it was a while. And to get to this, there's rivets. There's a black strip that goes all the way around. It's like a bumper strip. There's a few rivets, if you can see right, where's it at? Right there, that big hole right there. There's rivets in there. All you got to do is take and drill them out, or you can cut them out like I did. I cut them out with a pair of side cutting pliers. You just take that out and pull that piece off, and if you look at it, it's kind of glued. And you just kind of work your way off of it. Don't do it real hard because it will break, but just kind of pull it off, and it'll pull off and it'll expose all the staples. And then once you take all the staples out of here, I'm gonna walk back over here to the other piece. All right, I'm back over here at the other piece. The other piece was sitting over there. I had to walk all the way over here to show you what I'm talking about. Right here, if you look at it, you see where the staples went into it. Right here, in between the two holes where they put together, they put like this sealant type stuff, kind of like glue, but it's not really gluey. But it holds really good. But what you got to do is take a screwdriver, stick in between there, and kind of twist it to pop it all the way up, all the way around it. And once you pop it up all the way around it, you can take and stick you something in here. I took a board. I took a board and stuck in between there like this right here, so to separate the two holes. So let me see if I can't get that to hold still. There we go. The other one was sitting on top of here, so it wouldn't sit back flat down, and I did that every so often, so it would take and hold it up. Well, after that, pretty much all you do is get you one person on one side and one person on the other side, and you just pick it straight up. That's all you do, is pick it up off of here, and it'll come right off, and you can go sit it down. And with me having it where it's gonna be off for a little while, I got that one sitting up on boards and stuff, so it don't bend, and I got this one sitting up too. I forgot one thing. Back here in the back, there's a village right here where where if it gets water in the inside, it comes out, where you got to take that out too. And I did forget one more other thing. The little hold down tie strap things, little U-bolts, whatever you want to call them. You got to take them out too, because they're on the inside and outside, and that's what's on the transom. And that's what I had to replace, was the transom in there. And that's basically it. I mean, everything else is pretty explanatory. Once you get it apart, you'll know what to do then. But this is just gonna be the first part of it right here, of me talking about it. I'm probably gonna video me putting it all back together and making it look a little bit more better. Probably do something better with the transom, because the way they had it, it was all right, but I mean, it could be better. And that's pretty much it. And that right there stays in there. This is like plastic welded in there. Oh, hold on. I forgot something else. Let's go walk back over here. I forgot right here. I don't want to lie to you. I want you to figure out how to get it off if somebody's trying to figure this how to get it off. Right here, and on these other two ribs. From the factory, they plastic welded this thing to the bottom. If you can see where it's got a crack in it and it's raised up, you have to get that off from the bottom. If not, it will not rise up. So what I did was I took a heat gun and I turned it on low. I didn't turn it on high. I turned it on low and I heated it up enough to where I can get a screwdriver behind it. And what I did was I kind of just worked it a little bit so it would pop up. And I had to do it on each one of these ribs besides for the center one. But that is literally it. And you just pick it up off the top of it, and that's how you expose the hole so you can get to the transom and all the wood in the inside. The wood that was back here in back, it was waterlogged. It was like really bad, so it was wanting to bend the transom a little bit with the 8 horsepower motor I got on it. So I had to do something different, because it is plastic and it's not fiberglass or anything. I thought it was gonna break it, so I had to take and do something different. And come to find out, some of the boards that was running and the styrofoam that was in it, it was all messed up. So I'm gonna have to replace that too. So, or do something about it, because it is not good. But that's the way you do it. And if you're gonna follow me on this project right here, I'm probably taking video all this right here, when I'm taking and putting it all back together and show you what I've been doing and stuff like that, if people wants to know how it works, or if you just like in general just boating stuff and stuff like that and fishing. But that's pretty much it. That's how you get the two holes separated, so you can get to the bottom of it and get to the transom and all the other stuff that's in there. But that's pretty much it. And I appreciate everybody watching. I hope that helped out. And if you got any questions or comments or anything like that about doing it, just let me know. Leave it down in the comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate y'all watching.